1, 2, 3, warm up with Buddy Mix.
Tonight we are so excited to introduce our first guest. He's been on our show before, and he's here again to lend his expertise. Please welcome celebrity vocal coach, James Lugo.
All right, so we're just gonna start running this. We'll figure it out as we go. So this is our weekly video because we're on the road. We're in North Carolina, and I've been thinking about some things, and I've been thinking about my first voice teacher, Buddy Mix.
Buddy Mix?
Yeah, and I talked to him. I said, hey, is it okay if I make a video and use your audio? And he said yes. So this is my first voice teacher who's still my friend and still teaches me every day. I still run the same tracks, basic thing that I ran with him 30 years ago. And it's you can find it on his, he's got a DVD, and this is the audio, Buddy Mix. And we're on the road, and we're gonna warm our voice up. So a lot of times when people are traveling, they start having problems with their voice, and you know, they're like, oh, I can't really, let me see if this will help. I can't really, you know, practice, and the food is weird, and I'm sleeping weird. So this is the routine, is to have a playlist on your phone with your warm-ups and whatever. So we're gonna run through, this is my warm-up with Buddy Mix. Right, sit up straight, son.
Just relax now. Don't squeeze. Just relax. Release. And let go.
And keep in mind, in this beginning phase, the best way to warm up is, to me, is this whole lip roll, tongue roll thing. If you go backstage at Celine Dion, she's doing lip rolls. If you go backstage at Metallica, they're doing lip rolls. Great way to start the voice moving without forming a vowel. It'd be equivalent to like a sprinter jogging a few laps, or a power lifter, you know, doing some warm-ups with the bar and just some push-ups just to get everything nice and loosened up. Stay with the tongue roll. Don't have the tongue up too back, like more just forward, like think of it almost on the front teeth. Jaw loose. Good, Toad.
Put your thumb under your chin and make sure the base of the tongue is relaxed.
Yeah, if you start pulling chest or start pulling the tongue back, this will start to pull down. So if you put your finger under your fatty part of your chin, stick it up in there good and swallow, you'll see how it pops down. That's what you don't want happening. Tongue flat and forward. Stay with the tongue roll. He's gonna be my little singer right there. We're putting the band together.
Let go of any tension you feel in your shoulders.
Good words, Buddy Mix. Shoulders relaxed.
Just blow that air right over the
I'm
tip
feeling
of
a
the
little
tongue.
tense. I drove for 10 hours yesterday. Also, if I can find a link for Buddy Mix, I'm going to put it down in the description. Check him out, seriously. Buddy Mix. This guy. I was living in my car when I moved to LA in the mid-'80s, and he was my voice teacher, and I spent Christmas with him.
Let's do a breath coordination exercise.
Woo! Relax the jaw. Yeah, almost, listen, relax. Almost a yawning state. If you push too hard, you're gonna go sharp. Almost like you're gonna yawn. Make a yawning sound. Go, oh my God, do that. Riker, go, oh. Riker, oh. Like your jaw's, oh, like you're gonna yawn. You know what's funny? So I took lessons from Buddy for about a year in 1986 and 87. And then I traveled and we kind of parted ways, and I took lessons with probably 50 other voice teachers over the last 20, 30 years. Some great voice teachers, some, you know, not so great voice teachers. Some gave me all kinds of stuff that I couldn't really apply. You know, it was a mixed bag. But what's so funny is, talk about coming full circle. after all these years and all these decades of being a teacher and being a part of American Idol and all these shows and doing all this great stuff, it's all just come back to what he taught me 30 years ago, 31 years ago. It's the key with this stuff, man. You know, practice doesn't make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect, and I really believe if you get good fundamentals, you're set for life. You know, and anything that you learn that expands from there is great. But to me, everything else is everything else. This is the meat and potatoes, man. Thank you, buddy. We love Buddy Mix. Right, and tote. Hear it like stairs, you know. And this is a little more sophisticated than where your ear's at right now, but you're doing good. You're moving with it. When he goes up, you go up. When he goes down, you go down. You've got a good sense of movement. Shoulders relaxed. Even when you're singing relaxed, make sure you have a point of reference, a point. So for you want to, for now, just sing to the back of this chair here, right, Toad? Sit up straight. Relax the jaw. Inhale deep. So if students come into, or singers come to me and they say, hey, I want to take voice lessons. Listen, I'm having problems. I'm blowing out my voice. When I rehearse with the band, after 4 or 5 songs, I lose my top end. It gets scratchy. I lose my falsetto. Yeah, what?
Can we start, you know, like turning around?
We're making a movie, dude. Anyway, all right, we'll turn around right up here. We're just gonna go this way like 3 more hours. Is that cool?
No.
Okay. Oh, singers come to me and they say, oh, yeah, I was just gonna say, singers come to me, oh, Dad. No, it's not. They're not calling me Dad. They say, oh, my voice, you know, I'm getting hoarse, I'm losing top end, and I'll do these kind of exercises, and this is how they'll sing it sometimes.
Drop your jaw.
Yeah! And they'll be pushing on that top, and it'll be like, oh, okay. Or if they're doing a lip roll, they'll go. You'll be pushing. It's like, well, there's why you're getting hoarse. And it's not, the key with it is not to think of it in terms of don't push. It's thinking in terms of, hey, Riker, it's thinking in terms of strengthening your upper mid-range, the upper mids of your voice. Because once you strengthen that upper area of your voice, so for a male voice, it's usually starts getting hairy around F sharp, below high C, you know, G, A, and then they're blasting away, is to get that strong. And once that's strong, then it's easier to stay even, because you hear I'm not really exuding any effort when I'm singing this. Now if I'm singing with a band, I would sing heavier than this, but again, this is morning time. We're warming up and we're traveling. You know, sleep's been weird, driving, food's been weird, so this is, you can do it. That's the key. Anyway, I just wanted to show you guys a little something. No excuses not to work your voice every day, almost. I mean, unless something's really pending. Have it on your phone. You know, a lot of times when I was taking lessons from Buddy Mix, well, when I first started taking lessons from Buddy Mix, he was out in Van Nuys and I was living in my car. But I was working in Van Nuys. I had just gotten a job as a dishwasher at Pacific Deli in Sherman Oaks, actually. And I started taking lessons from Buddy, and I was living in my car. So I viewed my car like my little recording studio. And I had back then it was cassettes. I still have my first cassette from Buddy Mix, but I made I guess a mixtape at the time. Now you'd call it a playlist in iTunes or whatever, but it had like my 3 or 4 favorite tracks that Buddy did with me, because every lesson I would come back and I listen to them, and I organized the ones that I liked the best. And then I had like 20 or 30 minutes of Buddy's exercises, and then after it I had like 10 songs, and it ranged from like Bruce Hornsby to Earth, Wind and Fire to Bon Jovi to Dio to the Carpenters to, you know, I was into Elton John. I was into a variety of music, and then I had them, and I put the songs in sequential order on the cassette, which would be like what you do on your playlist on your phone or whatever. I put them in order of kind of difficulty. In a sense, I kind of warmed up into them. Like it started out with like the more head voice lighter stuff, got into the more like mid-range. I remember I had the Bruce Hornsby hit on there. I had the Janet Jackson one where she's singing all on head voice. I put that towards the end. That was my big head voice warm up. I remember I had C'est La Vie by Robbie Neville on there. I had some Stevie Wonder, and then the last couple were like Guns N' Roses and whatever, you know. So I kind of, like, I did my warm-up sequentially, went from the air exercises to the head voice to the easy stuff and more difficult mid-range. Then once I felt warmed up, I put in the easiest song and then went down the line. But I would run this cassette 2, 3, 4, 5 times a day, every single day. And I just was totally committed to it. So I would say that you guys will get good results if you do this. Don't let anything get in the way. You know, if you're in your car, you're in a recording studio, you're in your vocal booth. And if you're driving to work, you could be working your voice out.
Fun vocalizing with you. Remember, it's real important to warm up before you sing your songs, so you don't hurt anything.
Hear it?
And you really get relaxed and get yourself into a rhythm so you can say and feel everything that you want to say and feel.
That's the advice. Warm up before you sing songs.
To help you do your best with the singer's workout.
All right, that's the end of the video. Should we do an intro bumper? I'm gonna say 3. We're gonna go warm up with Buddy Mix, all right? So 1, 2, 3, warm up with Buddy Mix. You got that?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, warm up with Buddy Mix. No, it's right here, 7290. No, we found it. How did we do that? That's crazy. Just a couple of things. When you sing, use your diaphragm.
I didn't bring it.